Donating blood is important to the healthcare system. The Red Cross estimates that only 3% of eligible adults donate blood. This can put a strain on the doctors or even the healthcare system that needs the blood for certain procedures or accidents happen. The American Red Cross also has another stat that says that if only 1% more gave blood, then there would not be a shortage of blood in the near future. Now, everyone knows someone or another who's had an accident or a severe enough freak accident to where they've needed to go to the hospital and needed blood. This is, you need to know where that blood comes from. It comes from people that donate blood. My first time giving blood, I was in high school, and I have to admit, I was a little nervous, only because it was my first time. I also wasn't a fan of needles, and despite my affinity for the medical realm, I was not used to seeing blood. And that's just something that you just get used to the more you go. So I can understand how people get weak or dizzy. After the procedure was done, it wasn't so bad because it went smoothly, and I also learned from a stat that 1 pint of blood helps around 2 to 3 people, and I'll never meet them. There are many benefits to donating blood. Donating blood from the first time can be a nervy experience just because doing things for the first time, that's what causes it. But once you've educated yourself and on the different types of donations that you can possibly do, you shouldn't be quite as nervous. The main points are getting over the fear, the preparation and process of giving blood, the different types of blood donations, and then I'll go over a couple pros and cons. Let's start with getting over the fear. When you first get to wherever you register to go, so I'm going to say a hospital, keep your eye on the prize. Don't get distracted. Just realize you decided to donate blood because you wanted to help someone. Next thing, distract yourself if you don't like needles or blood. By doing that, bring an iPod, read a book. Don't look at the arm that they decided to draw blood from. Also, know what to expect. This is why I also want to go over 4 different types of donations. Also, bring moral support. If all else fails, bring a friend that's done it, because they can guide you. Now I'm going to go over the preparation and the process of giving blood. So after you have your date, the day of, you're going to want to eat something, but then you're also going to want to drink a lot of water because you're about to lose a pint of blood. You also want to wear something comfortable because you're going to be sitting down for up to 30 minutes at most. You also want to bring along a list of medications. Then once you get there, they're going to give you this long sheet, and it's pretty much a health history, just so they can eliminate disqualifying factors, such as if you were to take certain medication or have certain diseases. Then after that, they're going to do a little mini physical, which they're going to take your blood pressure, and they're going to prick your finger with that. They're going to take your blood temperature, cholesterol, and with that, and your hemoglobin. Then is the donation. Once all that's done, I'm going to sit you down in a chair. They're going to find which arm they want to withdraw from. I'm going to take an alcohol wipe, sterilize the area. We're going to put the needle in. It's going to feel like a pinch. It's not going to be that bad. And then about 8 or 10 minutes later, the machine's going to start beeping because it has a sensor, and if it weighs a certain amount to a pint, it'll start beeping. And I'm going to remove the needle, put a gauze and then gauze wrap on the area to put pressure, and then they're going to guide you to a room to where you can sit down for some refreshments. The refreshments are normally like crackers and a soda or water, because you need to hydrate afterwards as well. You also can't lift after for about a day, because you don't want to reopen the wound. And then you'll also get a gift, which I'll talk about later. But that ranges from coupons to t-shirts. The types of donations. You have the whole blood donation, platelet, aspheresis, plasma, aspheresis, and then the double red cell donation. I just described the whole blood cell donation. So it shouldn't last more than 45 minutes after you rest, and you can only do that up to 56 days at a time, so every 8 weeks. The next kind is called the platelet aspheresis and the plasma apheresis. With those donations, that's going to take much longer. The plasma apheresis takes up to an hour and a half, while the platelet takes an hour and 15 minutes. And that's just when you're there. That's not during refreshments and everything. During that process, they're going to withdraw your blood. They're going to put it into a machine that's going to separate the red blood cells, plasma, platelets, and whatever they want to keep. And then they return your red blood cells or platelets, or red blood cells and plasma. With that, you're going to you can do this up to 24 times. Now, the reason for this type of donation is for surgeries and cancer patients, to help stop bleeding. That's what the platelets and plasma are used for. Like, such as when you get a cut and that clearish liquid forms, that's the plasma, and then what stops your bleeding is the platelets. Next, last type is the double red cell donation. And we'll pretty much take 2 pints, and I'm going to separate I'm going to put it in that same machine, separate the red cells, and put the platelets and plasma back in your body. You're going to have to wait 16 weeks between each one of those types of donations, because they take so much red blood cells out of your system. Now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons. I'm going to start off with the cons. Well, it can be painful at first if you're not used to needles, and also because we're not used to seeing blood, because hardly any of us are in the medical realm, and the blood can make you dizzy, and needles can make you like, whoa, because that needle's a little bit bigger than a syringe. And then the last thing is the paperwork. Like I said, when you do the health history exam, you're going to have that long sheet of paper, and it can take a little bit of time to fill out. Now, some of the pros: you're helping someone else that you will never meet, and I think that's really neat. Then, next thing is that blood is renewable. You know, your body always produces blood, red blood cells, and people need it. Then after that, they'll give you free gifts. I already said what they give, but the last time I gave blood, they gave me this drawstring bag, and I like the saying. It says, "Got blood, it's yours to give." And it goes along with this presentation as well. With the health benefits, with that pint of blood, they're also withdrawing cholesterol. That if you have high cholesterol, it might lower it a little bit. They're also forcing your body to create new red blood cells in the bone marrow, and that kind of recycles your system. And with that, and it helps your body a lot. Now, in the end, I explained how you can get over the fear. I explained the process and the procedures of the donations. I also explained a couple different types and a few pros and cons. Now, I will leave off with a challenge For anyone who hasn't donated blood within the last 8 weeks, for the whole blood donation. No. Give it a try. You know, you might feel good helping out someone else.